succeed. Blasted well. The Cox, Braun, sold into trouble. Taken down by Del Santo. Chance for Jones. Pops it inside the 50. Will we see the first goal of the match? In goes Gehrig, 20 metres out. Jams at home, does he? Goal umpire has tracked the long way left. It's a goal. Getting the Nathan Brown bound there. Drives it well outside the defensive 50 from behind Kazetsky. Falls to Goddard. Looping hand pass to Hayes. He can turn around and kick a goal from 35, and he has. Saints get their second. All one-way traffic. The middle, almost found Reed, leading back in the race. Looming alongside is Harvey. Harvey pulls it back to Powell. He was very unfortunate there to slip. He's a natural left footer. Had he taken the mark, he could have wheeled around and put it long. As it is, still uses the left foot to good effect. Pinpoints it and hits Clark.
They're dominant at the moment, St Kilda. They are dominant.
Horsfeld was filthy at quarter time. I don't think his move will have improved too much. Just
Del Santo. And Del Santo puts from about 20 metres. Centre cut.
They have on the scoreboard, St Kilda. Del Santo out of the middle. Driving ball forward. Fly Wolf.
The Wolfman.
Just 3 goals for the year, as Jared mentioned in the first quarter. Has an opportunity to make. Keeping in mind, the Eagles haven't registered a major just yet. We're into the second quarter. Wolf. Straight through the middle. 4 for St Kilda, none for the Eagles.
He puts on behind the ball for a start, and he gets him. Lenny Hayes just cutting him up at the moment and gets it on him.
Hayes from 60 metres out. Rewalt playing in front. So tall, but so agile.
It's a fair belting.
Rewalt kicks. Now they've found their accuracy. Farmsworth, Del Santo. Harvey twisting, turning. Elusive. Goes down towards right half forward with the run of it. Powell will want his left side. Elects a hand pass instead. Rewalt. Not a good effort from Collicutt. Rewalt kicks his second.
a little bit more respect, and they do look poor at the moment, but too early to write them off.
Harvey, 12th possession to the wing.
Dennis Fisher very quiet about this track.
Hayes doesn't look good, does it? Del Santo got it from Powell. Del Santo forward to the wing, kicks inside the 50, going back. Collicutt. Gehrig finished up with it, surrounded by Eagles, but a hand pass to Clark. It's going to be a free kick as it's a Fraser Gehrig.
Round the neck, or too high, or whatever you want to call it. It wasn't a mark, just ended up in his hands. He didn't know it himself, and almost ducked the tackle, I reckon, at one stage. It wasn't far away from the mark. I don't know, it's a correct free kick. The thing about this is that they've done this before, St Kilda. Got away to big starts and big leads against, most recently, the Kangaroos, only to be headed in the last quarter. And on that occasion, they did hang on. That would be giving the West Coast Eagles something to think about, but gee, they haven't even looked like it so far this match.
They have been a bit quiet, a bit like Jared talking about Fraser Gehrig's haircut. 40 metres out, kicks, and kicks truly. He's got 2-2 now. It's a rout.
Not a lot to talk about, Dennis. But
the hair or the footy?
well, both at this stage. But from a St Kilda perspective, plenty to be enthralled about. I reckon Rob Harvey started the trend. His job on Ben Cousins has been superb. They needed some leadership. They got it from their most experienced player in Robert Harvey.
Gehrig, 2 goals. Rewalt, 2 goals. 47-point margin at the 15-minute mark of the second quarter. The Eagles are going to have to get cracking. Chick works it inside 50. Here comes Werpunda. Had a little trouble getting down there. Handball inside the Chick. Opens up for him. Takes one too many on. Had to dispose of the ball. Handball out in Matera direction. He gathers. They're hanging off him. Sampi, can he do something? No, he's kicked it out of bounds in the full. You get the feeling, though, there is some urgency deep in the West Coast forward line. Just hasn't been there very often.
Yeah, they haven't had a lot of supply inside 50 situations, 13 to 24, so double in favour of St Kilda. But it's the pressure of the Saints that's making them look a bit ordinary. And for John Worsfold coach teams, he would be savage on that point. And you also got to consider that Aaron Hamill, the hardest nut probably out there, has been on the interchange bench since about the 20-minute mark of the first quarter.
Boundary throw in. After that McDougall kick, gained about 15 metres, went out on the bounce. There's McDougall again, comes back to him again, 55 metres out, kicks down towards full forward, going back Jakovic, did all the hard work, dropped the mark. Philip Matera with a chance now, bounces obligingly. Well played, Jakovic.
Could that be the spark, Jared? Been a long time coming.
They do need one from somewhere, and Jacko was a second and a half ahead of the pack here. And look at that, he just belted it over there, expected Matera. It was favoured by a fine bounce to gather it. And he just got away from his opponent for a split second for the Eagles. I think Chick's lifted them. Jakovic with that possession is also up. They need half a dozen to lift with him.
First goal for the West Coast Eagles coming deep into this first half of football. Philip Matera, the goal scorer. Harvey combining beautifully with Lenny Hayes, the smooth mover. The low ball into Garrick. Tried to work on turning his body around. Wasn't successful. Surely in the back there. Against ball. No free kick. There is Aaron Hamill, who's had a shower and put the runners and tracksuit on. And he will take no further part in the game today.
Bounce right on the 50 then. McDougall tapped it down. Del Santo looked towards the middle. Fortunately, McDougall smothered the ball. Chick kicks towards half forward. Selfie! Clever. Burapunda kicks out wide. Coming on the lead, Philip Matera lets it bounce. Shins it away. Tracks it outside the 50. Oh, well done. Hutchkin. All the patience in the world. Just sat behind him. Wasn't flustered. Waited for the kick. Then darted in.
Bare vertical leap.
Yep.
Good ball control.
Boundary throw in just inside the 50. In the shadows. Remarkable scene, this stadium on a sunny day. McDougall taken down. Baker is going to get a free kick, taken high. Remarkable in inverted commas. Harvey comes away, goes across the ground into the sunlight. Fisher onto the ball, prods it down towards half forward. Storming up is Clark. He arrives quickest, tries to knock it to Rewalt, who stood his ground like a policeman on point duty. Well played. He pulls it back towards full forward. Carroll missed it. Gehrig, the beneficiary, gets a hand pass away to Clark, bounces it down towards full forward. Goddard steps around. Too easy.
Nick Rewald is having a big influence on the game, and I think Grant Thomas has played in beautifully today. He's had some injury problems in recent times, as we see Goddard finish off the good work, and he's been into really heavy traffic, but what he's done now has been able to get him outside, played him on the wing, given him a bit of room to move. There's a pretty ordinary miss down there in the back half by the West Coast Eagles defender.
The Saints, a 7-goal-to-1 second quarter, and it's not over yet. Rewalt doing very well across half forward. Garrick deep, posing problems as well for the Eagles defenders. Maguire. Del Santo's been fantastic in the clearance area there, in the middle of the ground as well. Robert Harvey has been inspirational as usual, and if you look at the top 5 disposal getters on the ground, there ain't too many West Coast Eagles featuring highly there. Robert Harvey and Lenny Hayes, clearly the standout players. Rewalt, the third man up in the contest, has gained some ground. Montagna, the soccer, in front of Jones. Will be happy to see the boundary here, the Saints. Likewise, the Eagles.
Just a quick comment on Lee Fisher. We'll come back to that. Down on the boundary, it's Benny Gale.
Just an interesting question with Dean Cox, Eagles' best ruckman, coming off the 10-minute mark of each quarter. And why would it be on the bench when their side's getting a toweling, particularly stop plays?
Hangs in the air, there's that question. Check, in trouble, dragged down, is it out of bounds at the full? Not quite. Kerr, still to get a possession, takes it across the boundary line.
Well, it's a question of responsibility, I guess. He was on the ground early in the piece and was palming the ball and dominating, and yet the Saints were still taking the ball away.
There's the throw in. Coming hard from behind was Wolf. Braun spins out of trouble. Check. All sorts of trouble. Charging through was Judd to help him. Almost hindered him. The Judd's away. His first kick. Outside the defensive 50. Goddard, gutsy mark. Knew they were coming up behind. Didn't know friend or foe. But the youngster did very well. Told to play on. That's his reward. Scant reward. Kicks inside the 50. Gehrig almost had it knocked away. Kerr. Suddenly, some of these players getting their very first possessions. Kerr kicks it to Penny, though. Penny at right half forward.
Too far out to score. But he can cause havoc if he's willing to get it in there quickly. Gehrig wants it deep. Penny happy to settle and wait for something to offer a little shorter. Now Rewalt up the corridor, had a good set and a good purchase. The umpire called play on. I thought he had both bites on that. I'm not sure that that was the right decision. The umpire says settle. I'm right.
95 out of 100, they pay those.
Have a look at this. Rewalt, that is a mark. That is a clear mark. Del Santo tackled and thrown to the ground. Unlucky.
Interesting situation, too, because the umpire who made that call was standing behind the pair, wasn't it?
Yeah,
umpire Ron Barassi.
Number 31.
Dean Margetts, the man we speak of.
We don't name names here, do we, Brian?
Penny.
18 now, Ben.
Oh, sorry.
Going to number them, Dennis. We may as well name them.
We name numbers.
Indeed. Score. 47-point margin to the Saints.
He's got a new opponent in Rewald in Slater.
Check. Kick.
I should say.
High. Del Santo. Kerr. Braun. Rewald. Great pressure, Saints. Clark, the drawing handball to McTagda. He'll work it back inboard. He's got plenty of Saints on. Baker deep. He'll get crunched, though. Attempt over the top. Mark has been paid this time, Dennis.
He legged him up. It was like M. Zara in the third at Caulfield. Just legged Carroll up, he did. Short pass and made to earn that one.
Untidy from Lenny.
Yes. Slow to get up is Casey Green. And 50, says umpire Margetts.
Was untidy in the end, instead of look at it.
Got a bit of blood coming from the nose, so he'll come off under the blood rule. So a connection was made of some sort there, Gary.
Oh, no doubt at all that it was late contact. I'm not sure that it would be anything other than a 50. Lenny Hayes, one of the Brownlow medal favourites, would hope that it's not anyway.
How would you know?
Yes, that's true.
There's Chick on the wing. The shadows meet the sunshine. Comes out wide to Hunter. It runs down towards right half forward, 65 metres out. Rewalt going back. Had the sun to contend with, took the mark.
He's a wingman, this bloke. That's his position, Jared. Played both ends of the ground.
He's just a wonderful young player is what he is.
It's a different definition of wing, though, the way he's playing it. He is going deep. He's going at both ends. He's really presenting a lot of problems for his matchup.
But what it does, it isolates him one out.
Yeah.
He kicked it straight to McDougall, but I think he was bothered by the sun again. Was the indication he gave, but then again, we'd all do that. Back into the sunlight it goes. Back goes Rewalt. Off hands. On the ground there was Penny. Eventually a ball up.
It's a great test for a few of these West Coast Eagles youngsters who have been highly rated, is to see how they come back after having a very, very poor first half of footy. Just to see what sort of character they got, how much resilience and fight.
Jacking 50 here for the West Coast Eagles. Check appealing and winning the free kick. Blake trying to explain that he handballed it there, but Check will get a shot on goal 40 metres out directly in front.
He's trying very hard, isn't he?
He's lifted. He certainly had a big second quarter.
7 disposals so far for Daniel Check. And there is the infringement. Some would say a little unlucky given the context of other decisions this weekend. Chick, kick on the way. Goal umpire not convinced. And just the minor score there, 1-5-11. The West Coast Eagles, St Kilda 8-9-57.
Ben Cousins off the ground, only 5 possessions. None this quarter. And for Robert Harvey, he is now up. I'll get back to you.
Okay. Nice.
14.
That was quick. Braun is tackled on the wing, and the umpire calls for it again. Ben Cousins, coming off 32 possessions last week. And 21 against the Saints round 3. They've generally, the Saints, made him work hard. McDougall, only as far as ball, had it, lost it. Chick goes on to apply a secondary tackle there and takes Hayes down. Boss and Chick tangle then.
Says something about Robert Harvey, doesn't it? To be able to take on Ben Cousins, who is widely agreed is one of the hardest runners in the game, and he's had him benched.
Kerr, slippery hand pass to Braun. McDougall on the wing, kicks inside the 50. The Eagles are playing better at the moment, though. They're going forward. That's something they weren't doing the opening term. Running into a dead end down there was Jones.
Harvey comes off for a spell as well. The fact his opponent came off a minute ago, as the boys mentioned. Del Santo down there getting some treatment as well. Ball up, attacking 50 for the Eagles. Shot goal. Staker was the kicker. It was a brilliant smother. And we'll have another ball up just 25 metres out from the West Coast goal. They trail by 46 points. And there is Robert Harvey, who has been quite brilliant in this game so far. 14 disposals for Robert. Maybe another Brownlow this year. Kerr puts his head over it, wins it. Had Werpunda running in support. Matera and Werpunda combining. Tough shot at goal. Put it across the face, still in play. And another minor score there. The 6 behind for the West Coast Eagles.
Nick Riewoldt was the smother. It is a fair effort. His opponent now, Brent Staker, having the shot at goal.
Don't often see a smother like that, where the smotherer comes from behind the kicker. That takes a bit of courage, doesn't it? Can't get a knee or a boot. Trying at that angle. Smotherer's watching. It comes out to Penny. Left half back. Off the step. Fisher. The runner alongside. Hayes. Goes towards half forward. Riewoldt at the other end of the ground now. Missed that one. Staker goes back. Murray tried to knock it goalward. Riewoldt goes in. Head down. Staker on his knees. Well done. Comes to Jones from Cox. High ball. Across goes Kerr, but it's out of bounds on the full. Hayes to take it.
Well, to put the lead into some context, 27 points is the largest margin that's been turned around at half-time this year.
Jones driving ball. Garrick got a good sit at the back and marks. Will he pay this one? Umpire says no. Got to really mark the thing down there. Doesn't matter. Goddard has kicked his second in succession.
Well, it appeared somebody marked it.
He didn't know, that umpire. That is a mark. Fraser Garrick mark. No doubt about it.
If in doubt, throw the arms in the air.
Brendan Goddard's kicked 2. The Saints have banged on 8 goals for the second quarter. And that lead now out to 51 points.
Well, justice was done. It was a Garrick mark. 9-9-1-6. Good bounce. One down by Cox, charging and off the line. Riewoldt missed it, so did Hayes. Opportunity for the Eagles to go forward. Judd's hand pass across the 50. Jones steps inside the 50, trying to work it back. Hit the post halfway up. But good work there by the Eagles. Out of the middle cleanly and setting up a good opportunity. It wasn't taken.
Goal umpire wasn't quite ready there, so the ball will be returned to Voss to do it again. Just over a minute remaining in the half. 50-point margin as we speak. Out in the reckon of Jakovic. The Eagles read. Chiseling ball on the lead. Sampi marks. Don't do anything silly here.
Just one situation like that. Maguire dropping the easy chest mark can have a big influence on a game sometimes, can't it?
Yes, it can, and from the West Coast point of view, they'd hope so. They need this desperately.
This is St Kilda's best second quarter this season so far. Sampi lines up, though, and makes it 2 goals in the quarter and the half for the West Coast Eagles.
Jared, history would say that at some stage West Coast are going to have a surge, going to make some sort of a run. Now, the margin is 44 points. It's going to spend a lot of energy getting it back to level pegging. It's whether or not they've got running their legs to maintain it.
Look, it's an unlikely scenario, Gary, but we've learned over the years, I guess, not to write them off, but write any side off. They have got injuries coming in. The Saints are hot.
As you can see now, the shadows getting the umpire McBurney, in the pincer movement. He's being pinced. Look at that. Lamont Cranston would love it. AKA the shadow, of course. In goes Chick and applies another tackle. Excuse me while I digress, gentlemen. I'm sorry about that. Just chatting to myself down here.
Carry on.
I'm looking for the brightness, the bright side of this. Cox hooks it down, taken by Baker, kicks inside the 50. Carroll goes back and takes a gutsy mark.
Carroll and half-back wouldn't want to let St Kilda score here. Braun, they have possession. They'd be aware that time is getting close to half-time. Braun on half-back. Siren sounds, and what a remarkable half of football if you are a St Kilda supporter. If you're John Worsfold, you wouldn't be happy. And if you're Nick Riewoldt, you'd be wrapped with your own personal performance to half-time. The Saints were absolutely outstanding in that second quarter. Their best second quarter for the season. They managed to kick 8 goals to the West Coast Eagles 2. Robert Harvey was simply superb. He was absolutely amazing. Daniel Chick was pretty good. And this is the West Coast Eagles' worst first half of football for the season. Can you believe it? 44 points at half-time. St Kilda lead 9-9-63. West Coast 2-7-19.
Points is the margin here, half-time. Dennis Committee knows the West Coast Eagles. He thinks there's still a chance, so we will watch with interest right now. There is some pride being restored here by the St Kilda Footy Club. Can they hang on? Second half action about to commence.
Sunday football at the Dome. Umpire McBurney. The centre's away. Lengthening shadows. Cox goes up, taps it down. Powell in front, kept it in front, taken down by Braun, who immediately appeals for a free kick. Nothing doing. Another bounce.
Just looking at the way that Chris Judd bounced off the square line there and straight into the fracas, he means business. Just wondering whether if he can't break the tag on Baker, that you don't stick him on a Riewoldt, who's also playing on the wing.
Staker, well done. Goes out wide. Jones. Sound like I'm placing an order in rhyme. I've got to stop saying that. Staker, well done. Jones back towards the middle. There's Kerr inside the centre square. His 4th possession. Banfield off is short. Dougal backtracking. Kerr very indecisive. Goes for distance. Eventually, Chick from behind. Spills over the back. Haynes picks it up. Slips a hand pass away. Ill-directed. Well played by Powell. Got it to Harvey. Get another possession, kicks it outside the 50. Hutchton releases Jones. Penetrating kick inside the 50. Clark under the football. Gearick favoured by the bounce. Glass does well. Kept his balance. Nicely played. Glass into mine. Swings it deep. And at left half back, it's Green.
Green, short ball to Cousins. Needs to get plenty of it in the second half, Cousins. Ball to centre half forward. Brilliant pass by Ben Cousins. Finds Jones. The run at Braun. Braun with a low ball. Finds his target in Haynes on the lead. And here come the West Coast Eagles.
Bit of run and a bit of purpose through the middle of the ground, Brian. They have started to penetrate the line, been able to get it across half forward, give their leading forwards a bit of a chance.
I think the key is not to try and trim the 44 points off all in this quarter, Jared. Just take half of it.
You're spot on it. They can halve the lead and give themselves a chance, get some confidence back and build on that, and just put a few doubts, sow a few seeds of doubt into the minds of the St Kilda collective. Then they are a half a chance.
David Haynes, 23 goals for the year.
You've got to take your opportunities when they present, though, like this one.
There's the reverse angle. We get a good look at it. Kick right on 50. That is brilliant. That's a goal. The Eagles off to the start they needed.
And that is a good start. He has been a good player, David Haynes, through the course of this season. He's been pretty quiet this afternoon. 23 goals he's kicked for the year before this game. And he can find the footy and he can kick a goal. He just hasn't had an impact, and the delivery and the supply's been pretty ordinary as well. So just a good start. They've got to build on it though. They need 2, 3, 4 in a row to get some momentum.
And for the first time this afternoon, back-to-back goals for the West Coast Eagles. They got the last one before half-time. Rucks go at it. Cox again, thumps it forward. Rewalt back to his own goal. Maybe should have left it. Haynes did well. Got a hand pass to Braun. Braun goes long down towards full forward. Hutchton.
He's got a terrific record, Max Hutchton, on the small forwards.
It's amazing when you look at him, Gary and Jared. You wouldn't think that he would be able to take on someone like Philip Matera with his speed and manoeuvrability, but he's done a fine job. Powell. Maguire missed the marking attempt. Del Santo, who has had a very good day. Couple of bounces, City side. Comes into the sun. Now the driving ball forward, the important kick. Not there, looking for Clark. Mark has been taken, Colica.
Wirapunda on the burst. Intended for McDougall. Got under the ball. Pacey for a big man, leads back. Spots the lead from Philip Matera too high. Hutchton dropped it. Now he's got a problem. Philip Matera tackled, got it away to Cousins. Cousins deep in the pocket, takes a look.
Free kick back here to Max Hutchton, I reckon, off the footy.
Off the footy, it's coming back to Hutchton then against Philip Matera.
I got caught up in a tackle there, and the contest went to ground, and there was a little bit of push and shove, a bit of to and fro, and I think Phil got caught.
I reckon John Worsfold, Gary, needs to take control of the Chris Judd situation. Give him a chop out, stick him on a Rewald.
It's a good idea, Jared. It's a really good idea.
Set him free. I think you know firsthand that he does respond to a fair spray. You gave him a hell of a lash over in Ireland half-time of one of the international matches there, and he came out and really produced a good. So he's mentally strong enough to do it.
That's when Jimmy Stones became his idol. Ball goes towards the outer side. Mark taken out there by Penny. Plays on immediately down towards half forward. Awkward bounce for Clark. Colica gets back. Plenty of time. Good chase by Clark. Affected the kick. But about 15 metres. McDougall, he's been busy. To Kerr. Hasn't seen much of it. Wheels around Kerr. Looks towards the outer side. Will he get it to Staker? Yes, he does. Staker's taken the mark right half forward.
70 metres out, so the Eagles doing all of the attacking so far in this third quarter. Just netted themselves the one goal. Kick forward, Penny dropped the mark he should have taken. Jones sees it over the line. Let's go down to Brendan Gale.
Just news from half-time, gents. Aaron Hamill definitely out of business. He's showered and changed. And interestingly, Robert Harvey got a lot of work into his calves, massage at half-time. Jakovic on the bench, and the breeze has stiffened, favouring the Eagles. I reckon it's about a 5-goal breeze down here.
Okay. Ball up in the attacking 50 for the West Coast Eagles. Aaron Hamill gone for the day.
Daniel Kerr, St Kilda's third quarters haven't been great for them, but Daniel Kerr's another player who needs to find the footy. Just wonder whether he could go to half-back and give him some responsibility.
Banfield is another player that needs to find plenty of it. Has not had a possession. There is his first. Kick missed its target. Rewalt marks.
Rewalt out of defence then. Swings it wide. Montagna breaks away from half-back. He's a runner. Maguire. Not necessarily a runner, but he takes them on. 55 metres out. The kick is not good. Bodies strewn everywhere down there in the goal square. Coming through Wirapunda, who goes on the 5-goal breeze. How can you have a 5-goal breeze in the dome? Next we'll have a tsunami. There goes the kick from Cox. Down towards half forward. Loose ball at the back. A chance for Kerr. Running out of space. Down he goes. Well played, Del Santo.
Rewalt to relieve pressure out the other side. No, the smother by Matera was fantastic. Back to Matera, centering ball, opportunity for Haynes. Yes, he will. He will indeed, Gary.
Maxie Hudson can protest all he likes, but he was caught under the footy, running with the flight, no eyes on the ball. It was a smart kick from Phil Matera, but look at this. Any contact there is going to draw a free kick.
To get them within 32 points early in this third quarter, and to have been doing all of the attacking is a great sign for the West Coast Eagles. Haynes taking plenty of time, as I mentioned, 23 goals prior to this game, and then kicked his 24th at the start of the third quarter. And now goal number 25 awaits him. David Haynes, the 43rd game of AFL football, has nailed it. Got 3 in a row now, the West Coast Eagles.
Well, you do know them well, Dennis, no question about it. Just going down the other end. And Maguire was the player who made a bad move. He had Xavier Clark 25 metres out from goal on his own and elected to kick to the goal square where Gehrig and his opponent fell over. Ball rebounded, and this was the result. Haynes kicks his second, so missed opportunity. And other things, just those little ones that go against you.
So the margin has narrowed. Back to 32 points now. Next goal in the context of this one, very important. One down by the big man Cox, taken away by Hayes. Kicks it out wide. Clark has it. He started so dangerously. Didn't put it on the scoreboard though. Back to Hayes. Hayes goes inside the 50. Murray up in front. Warapunda got a fist on it. Close to the boundary line. Braun takes it across.
So all of a sudden, the West Coast Eagles have kicked 4 of the last 6 goals in this game and would give themselves a chance at just 32 points down early in the third quarter. St Kilda forward 50. Cox, Gehrig, they bounce off each other. Baker, half a throw out to Clark. He controlled it well. Kept it in beautifully. Now the centering kick to the hot spot. Danger, danger for the West Coast. Warapunda in front of Murray. Banfield support. Check. Little more desperate. That was a throw, surely. Baker to Hayes. Hayes can snap it around his body. It's bending. It's bending. It has bent enough just in the right time for the Saints.
Well, goal resulting after a controversial marking decision wasn't paid from this distance, Gary. I thought the Eagles should have been paid. Let's have a look to see whether it was a throw or not. Looked like it was just a little tap out there, but great snap round the corner from Lenny Hayes, and that has just stabilised them a little bit.
On the non-preferred too, which made it even more impressive, Jared. Yeah, that's a body blow, because when you've got a bit of momentum, you can't be scored against.
That really does hurt the West Coast Eagles. Wonderful goal. Lenny Hayes deep in the pocket. 10-9-4-7. Still plenty of time, of course. This is only the third term. Cox knocks it down. Running onto the ball is Cousins. Will this be the quick reply? Runs to 50. I think it may be. Captain's goal.
I think you could always be pretty confident that Ben Cousins would respond after having his colours lowered. We know enough about him. He's been around for long enough. He's earned his stripes, so he's leading the way. He just needs a few of the young blokes to hop on board if the West Coast Eagles are going to be any chance at all.
Well, it was a brilliant kick, as we found out from Brendan Gale, who majored in meteorology at the uni. That was with the aid of a 5-goal bruise.
The West Coast Eagles have kicked 3 of the 4 goals in this third quarter. Plenty of time left for some more. Cox and Maguire. Cousins. Another centre clearance. Ball driving forward. Good opportunity here for the Eagles. There goes Matera, the miss. Hudson tries to extract. And we'll have a ball up just where the Eagles would like it, 30 metres out directly in front of their goal.
Phil Matera being dominated by Hudson at full forward. Surely it's time to get Matera up and around the half-forward line to do some quality crumbing, which is his bread and butter as well, and just put Max Hutchison in a position that he's not that comfortable in.
Cox knocks it down. McDougall grabs it, snaps. Penny can't get there. That's another one for the West Coast Eagles. They're on a roll.
They're starting to win some footy around the stop play situations, and you're just got to take your hat off. We don't see them that often, but the Guinness Committee certainly does, and he knows they've got some spirit and some fight and some pride, and he's called it absolutely on the money. They are on the move here, the West Coast Eagles, and Ben Cousins is the man that has sparked it up in the middle of the ground. Looks for Robert Harvey's response.
We are back, and the West Coast Eagles are well and truly on their way back. 4 goals to 1 in this third quarter. And a centre square infringement against Nick Riewoldt. Not good timing at all by the young superstar. Cox to drive it long from the middle of the ground. Standing in the way, though, Fisher in his first game of league football. Harvey. Montagna marks deep in defence for the Saints on the Dockland side of the ground. There's the time remaining in the quarter. The Eagles edging closer. Werpunda has come to life. Carroll combining with Braun will look to get it inboard. Good kick it was. Just missed the intended target of McDougall.
Kazitsky lays it off. Wolf down towards half forward for the Saints. Carroll leads back in the race, running out of space and time, holding the ball. Well, it doesn't matter too much in as much as I think it came off his boot across the line on the full anyway. So either way, the Saints, Clark, long towards the goal square. Gehrig trying to help him on its way. Help Glass on his way. It bounced obligingly like a puppy dog to Gehrig, and he kicks a goal. His third.
Well, take your hat off to young Xavier Clark, because his chase and tackle was the factor in this goal. He really did work hard. He's been actually quite electric today. Hasn't got the full reward for his efforts because he missed a few goals early, but that was just a brilliant piece of defensive play. Bit of experience there from Gehrig, including a lucky bounce, got him across the line.
So the flow of goals starting to open up here for both sides. Maguire via Cox. Carroll, who's had a bit of it in this third quarter. Powell. Kerr was tackled high by Ball. No free kick. Umpire right on the spot. There is Aaron Hamill, who has a back injury and is out for the remainder of this game. Did it in the first 2 minutes of the first quarter. Braun starting to get plenty of the ball. Banfield had none of it in the first half. Had a couple here in the third. Driving ball forward. Mark has been taken. The West Coast Eagles. And that looks like McDougall. And McDougall will line up just 30 metres out on a slightish angle for his second goal.
He's been very important, McDougall.
He has. He was taken very highly in the draft from memory. He's a quality young player. And when you've got a little bit of size about you like that, it'll take a little bit of time, but he's done some exciting things.
Just his 9th game of senior football as he lines up for his second goal of the quarter. He's got it. He's kicked straight. And the West Coast Eagles continue to mount this challenge with his second.
Well, they've done what you suggested at the start of the third term, Brian, and that is they've halved the lead. They've got very close to exactly where you'd expect them to be. They've still got a lot of work to do, and they could even get a lot closer than they are at the present time. But the injuries keep taking their toll. Both sides interchange. Del Santo coming off of the blood rule. We'll go down to Brendan Gale shortly to find out how that situation is.
So the West Coast Eagles now playing with a lot of energy. Del Santo off under the blood rule, straight down the race. Riewoldt going to the outer side wing, as you can see in the distance. The margin 75-49. Blake goes up, hooks it down behind. Hayes, Riewoldt immediately into the action to Fletcher. Fletcher goes down towards half forward. Well-weighted kick. Colicky got his fingertips to it. Now he's got a problem. The Eagles have got a problem. Clark into Mines, hand pass directly into the hands of Kerr, who was at his left shoulder, and Kerr is down and slow to get up.
Little groggy, I think.
That was like a strike.
No, he got up.
There was a couple of players he took out there, Murray. Good bump.
Cox has got it, left half back.
Starting to find a bit of it too.
Ordinary kick, Gary. Might be fortunate, though. Yeah, OK. Atkins needs to get a bit of the ball as well. Just the one possession of the first half. Kick forward. Found its target. So the Eagles all of a sudden looking threatening. Haynes, driving ball. Philip Matera, the intended target. Did well to keep his man away from the ball. Roved his own ball. Shrugged the tackle. Gave the handball off. Eagles are a chance, or are they not?
Great defence.
In comes Fisher. The young fella. Voss. Rewalt combined. Defensive skills by the Saints good, and the mark has been taken on this occasion by Blake. Gives it to the runner Harvey. Harvey will put it inside 50. Xavier Clark. Oh, almost a miracle one-hander. Was bashing through if Carroll was good. Kerr keeps them honest at ground level, and they're away, the Eagles.
Wirapunda running. Second bounce, Wirapunda. Beyond the wing, kicks inside the 50. Haynes. Oh, that's a good mark in the hands.
Can't go to Matera again.
Runs around Haynes. Vacant goal square goes long. It will bounce through. Another one for the Eagles. They did trail by 51 points. His third.
Well, he learned his lesson, David Haynes. He took a mark in exactly the same spot about 3 minutes earlier and elected to go long in the air to Phil Matera with Max Hutchison. It's not going to work. They've got to learn that that Matera out on a lead is the only time you go to him. And this time he attacked the goal square, and it is home. Don't write the Eagles off. I said it all day, Jared. No, in fact, you said it, and I back you up. I have now.
7 of the last 9 goals for the West Coast Eagles. Haynes has set them alight up forward with 3 in the quarter. And the Eagles, all of a sudden, alive. Just a 20-point margin now. Powell, I think I was one of the few to tip this. In the middle of the ground, they're all coming good in the back seats here as Atkins drives them forward. The Saints juggling attempted mark was good in the end by Penny.
Again, long to the square won't help the Eagles. It only is going to help the Saint defence.
Montagna to Blake. Powell. Now Harvey. Rewalt. Harvey. Forward of the wing. Kicks inside the 50 with the left boot, though. Not a good effort.
Dried up here for St.Kilda at half forward. It is really dried up. They've got to get a presence across there.
Yeah, the Saints are going along also, Gary. They haven't really got a genuine pack marking target down there.
Polliker gave it to Carroll. Staker loose in midfield.
Might be time to throw Rewald deep into the forward line, or Kaczynski.
Staker. His first 2 kicks in AFL football last week. Both goals. Carroll. Well-weighted kick. Got it to Jones. Looks to the middle. Plays on. Little chip. Jakovic comes at it. Going back with courage. Hayes. Wonderful stuff. Gets a hand pass away to Powell. Powell now to Jones. Fisher is free. Kick goes in that direction. Fisher forward of half-back. Looks back towards the middle. Lacks support. Goes to Ball. Ball, left-sided, close to the boundary, kicks down towards half-forward. Awkward one for Murray, low down. Here the Sox got a hand pass away. In went Haynes, Banfield, brilliant. Quick hands away, Wirapunda, spots Braun. Braun forward to the wing, needs to kick it now, does, searching kick. Voss sets in front, legs taken out from under. Well, taken too high, says the umpire. Voss gets a free kick, timely one.
Too hard again, long to Matera. Turnover, ball coming back.
Very unlucky there, Philip Matera. Aussie Jones, the kick needs to be perfect. Goddard, gained clean possession. The tackle from behind was a little late, said the umpire, by Damien Atkins. And the free kick downfield will result in a Fraser Garrick kick.
The Saints are getting enough of the footy. It is a structural thing at the moment. They've got nothing at half forward and they can't get it into Garrick, so they've just got to reshuffle.
Goddard was the player that kicked it, and he'll get the free kick downfield.
Why is that a relayed free kick? He was just tackled high as he kicked it.
Yeah, or the umpire may have deemed it be late.
Okay.
Kick forward, Cox marks.
They got nothing there. They need, as Jared pointed out, Kaczynski or Rewalt to get down and give them a contest.
It just comes down to the pressure. When the pressure is up, midfield players get tired and they bang it on their boot. You need someone that you can have go to as the outplay.
Dynamic third quarter by the West Coast Eagles. Carroll, one of the players that's led the way. Glass.
just like this.
He's got a run of work one day. He has Collicker in the middle of the ground will mark. Now he got Cousins in support. That's where he goes. Cousins the driving kick. Here he is. Haynes again. Collision. Courage by both players was fantastic. And we'll have a ball up true centre half forward as the St Kilda player, and I think it may be Wolf.
Some courage there, Gerard.
Yes, I think both players had their eyes on the footy, and the Wolf man came off second best. It's amazing how Wirrapunda has come into this game when the midfield pressure is lifted.
Same as last week, Gerard.
He has really been on the end of a lot of scrubbing kicks from St Kilda forwards, and earlier in the game he was exposed because the pressure was not there.
Just quickly, surely this is game on if the stretch is not on the way out.
I think.
What are they waiting for?
They probably want to bounce the ball in that position, Gary.
Move back 3 metres and bounce it.
I think there were initial concerns, Gary, that it may have been quite serious. But perhaps a momentary hold-up in the game wouldn't hurt.
Nah, not right, Brian. The momentum is with the West Coast Eagles. There's no stretcher. What is he waiting for, the umpire? What is he waiting for right now?
Now I agree, but the initial moments perhaps not. But certainly now, Gary, you're quite right. You are quite right.
Someone run a tape over that.
The umpire eventually happy to get on with it. Picked off the top there by Staker. Driving ball. Haynes creating all sorts of trouble up forward. Has kicked 3 in this quarter. Ball up.
So the margin was 51 points at the 29-minute mark of the second term. It's now been whittled away. It's back to 20.
Well, St Kilda is still one man short.
John Worsfold must have delivered a pretty good spray at half-time. May have used some of that dynamic lifter. Let's go down to Benny Gale.
Yeah, the physical stakes have lifted too, guys. Nick Del Santo went off. He got a nasty heel to his face there, just in that incident you see there, and he's gone off, I assume, to get stitches, and they need to get him back on because he's nice and hard too in close, Nick Del Santo.
Down goes Jakovic.
That means Del Santo, Baker, Hamill and Wolf are all incapacitated in some shape or form at the moment, Dennis.
Del Santo only went off for stitches, though, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
But that was 10 minutes ago.
Is that all? Hard school here.
At the moment, Gerard, they can't play.
McDougall snaps out of bounds, I fancy, on the full in the left full forward pocket. But the West Coast Eagles just terrific in this term. Found something. Boss. Fisher. Blake. Forward of half back. Maguire is running. The kick goes in that direction. Well played, though. Carroll too quick for him. Got around in front. Knocked it down. Jones hand pass. Not all that good. Taken by Sampi. Heard the talking. Braun took the mark. Plays on. Goes after it. The umpire says, no, you didn't play on.
He handled that.
Yeah, I don't think he saw, did he? He had his back to the umpire. I don't think the umpire realised he tried to flip it on to the player running past.
Braun hasn't told him.
No, and has no intentions of doing so, Dennis. Driving ball. Haynes cleared the back. Penny's got it all there. Here comes Matera. Penny was there as well. Much to his credit, Hutchton. Handball deep. Defence for Powell. Wrong-footed on his right foot there as Hayes tries the juggling act. So half forward for the Eagles. They are getting it all done in this third quarter. They have kicked 6 goals to St Kilda's 2.
Good move here. I think Dean Cox going into the goal square takes Kazitsky from the ruck, so St Kilda need to use a ruck rover type as their ruckman.
20-point margin. It was 44 at half-time. As Dennis said, it was 51 during the second quarter. Murray, the handball backwards just to gain a little bit of time. Kick forward has been found, and Powell is marked right on the point of the square. He wants to move it quickly. Sold the fake to the right, came back to the left, driving ball to Garrick. Nice play by Glass to palm the ball down in a defensive manner to the pocket. And very happy to see the white line there was Glass.
The body work did really well in that one-on-one contest.
Boundary throw in. Right full forward. Margin 20 points. Just under 3 minutes, still three-quarter time. Blake tackled immediately by his opposite number 27, Jakovic. Taken down.
Once again, this is the realisation for St Kilda. If they kick a goal here with just 2.5 minutes, it's out to 26 points again.
Good lead.
Yeah, it's a really good lead. So it feels like they're under pressure, but they...
Sorry. Harvey gets a head pass away to Clark, who snaps. They were listening. Finally, Clark breaks his drought. His first.
goal, as you said, Gary, and a couple of changes. John Worsfold has run out of patience with Ashley Samby, who hasn't had a lot of it, and he comes to the bench. And Chris Judd gets another opportunity. Kerr also onto the ground and into the middle. So whether or not Baker will go straight to Judd, we will wait and see. You'd expect he'd move straight into defence.
Straight on him. He's got the young Blake Fisher at the moment. I think Stephen Baker is thereabouts.
Back to a 26-point margin now in favour of St Kilda. Just the 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the quarter. West Coast wouldn't want it to get any wider the margin at this stage. Hayes. Rewald's got a chase in front of him. He's got Braun pursuing. Did well, the big fella. Got it out wide to the boundary line. Powell crashes in. Did really well. Well done, Powell. Driving ball forward. Garrick will line up for goal number 4, nearing the three-quarter time siren.
2 Stephen Powell efforts in the past 3 minutes have been instrumental. Really courageous acts that have won the footy back for St Kilda and set up goals. And that is what leadership and hardness is about. And that's why he's been good value for the Saints.
Fraser Garrick, 39 goals for the year, 3 in this game. In he comes, kick on the way, drifting a little bit. Offline, I would say, and just the minor score there. Golden opportunity missed.
Baker onto the ground and straight on to Chris Judd.
Stephen Powell getting busy.
We see Stacker there just doing his left shoulder. Probably the OCG.
Close to the boundary line. Ball kept it going. Rewalt, little chip. Nicely worked. And Clark has taken the mark and immediately wants to lay off, but he's hot. 2 posters today. How many behinds? 5 or 4? 4. His first goal just moments ago. Huge kick, this one, which could just about stifle the revival. No easy kick, though. 35 metres out, about 15 metres in from the line. Just talking about Powell. Has a career-high 35 possessions against the Eagles. Round 4 last season and playing for Melbourne. Does well against the West Coasters. But now it's Clark. He rides this one home. It's a beautiful kick. His second.
This is impressively, Jared. That is into a 5-goal bruise, that kid.
Yes, it was into a hurricane, and he still managed to get 5 goals. Brendan Gale to give us an update on the wind velocity and also how far away that tsunami is. But we see Del Santo coming back onto the ground, and I know Dennis was a little bit flippant before, but it was only stitches, and it's taken a long time.
So the Saints have responded in the last couple of minutes of this third quarter, kicking 2 goals, both by Xavier Clark, to extend the lead to 32 points. So all of a sudden the West Coast Eagles' really good work is coming a little undone. Blake, Mark, still time for another score for the Saints. Braun, likewise for the Eagles. Cousins was going to go underground with a handball. Rewald with a pulverising tackle. The Saints will go forward once again. Maguire, good body work. Used it nicely. He plays on. He runs inside 50. Maguire to launch. Has missed. Just a minor score. Right on the three-quarter time siren. I think we've got about a half a second left in the game for the West Coast to score.
Much better structure there, Brian. Earlier, those kicks were going uncontested and Wirapunda was mopping up. Now you've got a body there that can at least contest, maybe give a crumb. But, gee, that was the last 2 goals for the St Kilda Footy Club were absolutely critical. Had it gone one the other way, you'd almost say the West Coast Eagles would go on and win the game. The fact that it didn't, and they were able to recover through play like this from Nick Rewalt, I reckon has them in a very, very nice position going into the three-quarter time huddle. It is St Kilda 13-11-89, leading the Eagles 8-7 on this match so far.
You wouldn't want him to have huddle breath, would you?
No, let's hope he's been on the cool mints up in the box. But three-quarter time is 13-11-89 St Kilda. The Eagles, they rallied 8-7-55, but they are still in arrears as we go down to our man Brendan Gale with assistant coach of the Eagles, Robert Wiley.
Robbie, 6 goals straight, a lot more competitive. We've got a ball game. Last 2 goals hurt you, though.
Yeah, certainly it was a poor first half, and it's a credit to the boys to fight back. And, you know, 5 goals that can be turned around in a game, so we're very positive still.
And what needs to be done, do you think, to win the game?
Oh, we've got to get the ball around the middle and give our forwards an opportunity, so a bit of hardness through the middle, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Going to go with Rob Wiley. He's the whispering coach, making his way back. 34 points to margin. They were right in amongst it, the Eagles. They got it to 20 points at one stage, and they had a bit of momentum. And there was that stoppage. I'm not sure whether that was significant or not, but...
You weren't happy about that, Gary, were
not
you?
one little bit, Brian.
The rule book says that shouldn't happen.
Not unless there's a stretcher coming out. Otherwise, there'd be players all over the ground just dropping off.
But sometimes maybe common sense.
Common sense would say move the ball 10 metres sideways and bounce it.
Or run overhand.
Huh? What'd you say?
Start of the last quarter, the Saints by 34 points. Can the West Coast Eagles get up? They need it out of the middle, said Rob Wiley. Cousins, and this is a good start. Green pushed off the ball as he went to kick. The follow-up by Cousins is good. He's got to split one open, and Kazitsky does that. Chick combines. Judd, Cousins, 30 metres out directly in front. Could not ask for a better start. Cousins has got 2.
People have talked to you about leadership. Sometimes you just got to get out and do it, Jared. And that is what Ben Cousins has done since half-time. There was about 5 or 6 efforts in this.
Yeah, that was the best one. Better than even kicking the goal. He just neutralised the ball, got up, and the rebound, the fact that he got up for the second effort enabled him to kick the goal, and that is an important goal. Make no mistakes about that. If the Saints had kicked the first, I think this game would have been over.
Ben Cox doing pretty well in there now. They compete with Maguire. Cox turned 22 last Friday. Up he goes. Taps it down again, this time to Banfield, who appear to be taken high. The umpire a long way from that. He retreated hurriedly, comes across to bounce it once more.
It just seems unusual, Gary. You've got 3 blokes umpiring. 2 of them are 50 metres away from the action, and one has got his head down, backing away from a centre bounce.
Opportunity for Baker. Trashed through his ball. Taken down by Judd. 2 and 3. In their draft, behind Hodge, who's playing today. Another bounce. Margin 28 points. As we said, it was out to 51. Cox again lays it down. Ball stopped it effectively. Well played. Hayes picked it up, took on a couple of tacklers. Staker grabs him. And another bounce, and that is very much football these days, as we've said before. You get the footy, and then you repel borders. Over the top, Cox. Del Santo back on the ground now. Gains about 25 metres to half forward. Leading back Hunter, away to Braun. Eagles on the move. Braun, vital ball here. Boss with support. Jones took him down, but arriving quickly, Maguire. He's on the wing, chips towards the 50, too much carry on the kick. Wirapunda will get back.
Tidies up nicely. He's got Cox on short. He'll put it down the throat there. Missed over the top. Still an opportunity here for the Eagles to tidy this up. Hunter gains possession on centre wing. A bounce. Poor delivery, wasn't it? Sampi, though, got front centre in the right position. Keeps the ball alive at half forward for the West Coast Eagles. Working hard in there was Fisher to extract the ball. Cox onto Kerr. Still at half forward for the West Coast Eagles. Voss, diving attempt, missed all. But the boundary throw in. If the West Coast Eagles were to get up from here, it would be the biggest comeback of any team this year.
Stephen Powell, Gary, just looks to be going up and down on the one spot. He had a big effort in the last 10 minutes of the third quarter, but Braun is really outrunning him.
It'd be a wise move to get a good runner onto him, because he's at that stage in his career where 4 quarters of quality hard running is probably beyond him.
28 points adrift. Staker around the corner that had no bend on it. And the result, a St Kilda free kick.
There's Wolf coming from the walking around the boundary. He was probably concussed in that third quarter. The one that they've got to get some run out is Luke Ball. He's only a junior, but he's got fresh legs.
Rewald out of defence then. Telling kick. What a beautiful disposal that was. Onto the chest of Fisher. Didn't have to break stride. Short towards the wing. Clark with pace. Led Colica to the footy.
Just on Fisher, he started on Sampi. He's had Sampi taken from the ground with very little effect, and he just looks like almost like an experienced player.
Now it's Clark. He's been influential, particularly late in that previous term. Off his step, Penny has it. Haven't seen much of him. Nobody near him. Plays on. He's right on the wing now. He unloads well inside the 50. McDougall almost the mark. Trying to find it on the ground. Braun stood his ground. Trying to dribble it through the pack. Cousins quickly away. Well done by Glass. Over the top, Braun confronted. Baker arriving quickly. Chick goes up after the ricochet. Baker puts his head down. Chick goes after him. And we'll have a ball up right on the 50.
Now, just an important part of the game at the moment. St Kilda, if they can hang on in this situation, a 0-0 draw for the next 6 or 7 minutes, you reckon they'd just about get home. But the West Coast Eagles are within striking distance. 28-point margin in favour of the Saints. Cousins, the back door. The first goal of this last quarter. Keeps this one alive along the boundary line. Clark has to run in the same direction and did it well. He would be happy with that result.
Ben Cousins has responded pretty well, Jared. Went in at half-time with Rob Harvey. Had his measure well and truly. He has bounced back well.
Yeah, he's probably been the best 3 or 4 players on the ground since half-time. It's a good return and good leadership from the Eagles captain.
Nathan Burke also sitting up in the St Kilda box. Knocked down. Del Santo, who was very, very good early. And we'll have another boundary throw in. Robert Harvey been superb as well. At one stage, St Kilda led it by 51. And we're down to a 28-point margin now. Clark kicked 2 late goals for St Kilda in the 3rd quarter after they got within 20 points, the Eagles. Harvey, the run from the stoppage. Now the delivery. Montagna couldn't get hold of it. Garrick. Glass was able to tidy up. A pulverising power tackle. Didn't result in a turnover.
Eagles bring it away. Banfield the hand pass to Hunter. To Colica. He's at right half back. Steps around Clark. Has a bounce. Aided by a good Shepherd. Runs to the wing. Kicks down towards half forward. Chick is outnumbered. Well done by Goddard. Just nudged Chick and the mark was taken by Penny.
It's a strong mark. It took courage.
Hobbled. Goes back to the pocket. He's not well. Jones has got the footy. Hudgton. Forward at half back and running. One bounce. Goes beyond the wing, kicks inside the 50. We're a punter camped under the footy. Takes a good mark. A finger tipper. A little casual, but effective enough. Here's Reid up from the back pocket. And Reid will kick it up towards the wing. Jones, normally a good mark. And that was a beauty.
Great hands in the middle of the pack.
Fantastic. So the Eagles need to start scoring, though. Otherwise, time will become an issue. Kick to half forward. Penny again.
He's got size.
Has been penalised. A little nudge, Gary. Just a little one.
Little.
Tony. Minute. Microscopic even. Short ball was a shot and kick and ball marks in defence. 14 minutes remaining in the game. The Eagles down by 28 points. The Saints have led all day. Remember, the Eagles did not score a goal until the 16-minute mark of the 2nd quarter.
This bloke is have to be amongst the best 4 or 5 on the ground, Max Hudson. Here's Kane, Philip Matera.
Goes wide with the ball. Finds his target. This guy has been very, very effective as well. Rewalt. Marks on centre wing.
Need some patience, Brian. Cox is the only player inside 50, or he's on his own inside 50, and they just need to work this footy around. There's nothing long.
Very short. Gehrig set a task. Couldn't hang on. It spills across the boundary line. I know this week the West Coast Eagles spent a lot of time talking about slow starts on the road. It's hurt them. Well, it's hurt them again today. Terrible start. Always behind the 8 ball. Close enough if they can string together some quick goals here. Braun to Reid, but the odds against them. Reid up towards the wing. Rewalt got a fist on it. Fisher again. Good balance. Kept his feet close to the boundary line. Kept his head too. Got it to Jones.
Quite resilient at the moment, the Saints. They're using the clock and they're using it well. The kick to Maguire. They'd be happy with that result as well. Not like they're trying to run the clock down or anything, but they are consuming time and valuable time through the midfield with just good, hard-fought contests. Boundary throw and attacking 50 for St Kilda. Haven't kicked a goal in this last quarter as yet.
It's on a knife edge, the match. If the West Coast Eagles can just kick a goal, they would certainly unnerve, I think, some of the younger Saints.
Baker. Handball backward, searching for time with Jones and Hayes combining. Now Hayes goes inboard. Here they go, Montagna from 50 metres on the boundary line. Carrick! Hit the behind post, that's out of bounds. Throw in deep in the St Kilda half of the ground.
Thrown in then. Now the ruckman touched it. Powell behind, a half chance. Montagna on his knees did well. Now Maguire snaps. An unlikely man to kick the sealer. He hasn't done that. It's a behind. Good effort though.
One more goal will be the sealer too, so that's why it is such a critical period of the match. They do need to get a wriggle on, the Eagles.
Emerging player is Matt Maguire. 2 behinds this afternoon. Played very well last week against the Crows. Here's Glass.
And they've been impressed with Fisher too. He's had Sampi removed from the ground once again. A first game player from the Sandringham Dragons.
Plenty of distance on that kick. Powell split the pack, did nicely. Lays it off. Goddard off his step. Kicks inside the 50. Clark again. Man not in the square. No, not required. Well done.
And another important possession by Stephen Powell. He looks dog-tired, but he's still working. And he just got that one, the ball that was in dispute, gave it to one of the better kicks in the side, and Goddard didn't waste it. This bloke's had a great day. Could have had a great day. He's had a very good day.
He's going at his 3rd. He's had 2 posters. In total, 4 behind. So he's been a 2-4. And this could end the resistance. 13-12, 9-7. Xavier Clark kicks, lights it off the boot. They're celebrating. He's got 3, and the Saints would appear home.
He bounced out of the block, Xavier Clark, in the first quarter, but just couldn't find the goals. And he's got 3 after half-time. He was superb early in the season at half-back until he got found out a bit. He was probably ended up being a bit loose, went for too many footies, but he's gone forward now, Jared. He's a player, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, his tackling and his defensive skills up forward have been pretty good today by Gary. Good day.
So the Saints look like they're going to go on record their 8th victory for the year, in fact, which is a marked improvement on last year where they won just the 5. Braun was tackled.
Jared, it'd be fair to say that the distance between the St Kilda's best and their worst is greater than any side. I mean, they cleaned up Kangaroos and now look like doing it to the Eagles, 2 sides who may contest finals.
That's probably a reflection of the youth in their side, but when you've got kids like him developing in this one, and probably the bloke on the end of it.
Goddard, kick forward, Clark. Couldn't hold the mark this time. Through came Ball, put his head over at Powell and won another tight ball. Gives a handball off to Fisher. And there is the absolute sealer. First goal in league football to Lee Fisher.
Stephen Powell again instrumental in that, and Lee Fisher kicks his first goal in AFL footy. And Jared, you've got a future as a commentator. Goddard, the Clark,
all the kids,
all was involved, and then an old bloke stepped in and said, "Look, I'll just give you a little helping hand."
Yeah.
Lee Fisher comes from the Sandy Dragons, under 18s, was a school captain at Mentone Grammar last year, and he has made a very auspicious debut.
Name for the Black Book, Lee Fisher, most impressive on debut this afternoon. Bucks go at it. Tapped down by Blake, taken by Kerr, who was a slow starter. Braun kicks the Eagles to half forward. Hudson got it on the deck. Goddard hand passes over the shoulder. Jones to Cousins, arches the back, slides through, goes to Banfield, steps to the 50. Long kick, Kazitsky goes back. It's offline in any case. Behind. So the margin There's 40 points now, as we said, 51 at the 28-minute mark of the second term. Just about headed for that, I think, by the end of this.
Back at that point you spoke about before, Gary, 5 of their 8 wins St Kilda have been against top sides this year. Blake will win the ball at half forward. Harvey, Corral by Cousins, back over the top with a brilliant handball to Ball, running shot at goal. It is raining goals here now at the Dome, and they are all St Kilda goals.
Going to be raining goals a lot here at the Telstra Dome. They've got a terrific side coming through for this very fast track. All the youngsters. Jason Blake, I reckon, has been a good player for them as well. Got a massive motor. He hasn't got the absolute silky skills of a few of his teammates, but he's done a great job for them as a ruckman. Probably came into footy expecting to be a ruck rover, like Luke Ball. Just kicked a goal. He's doing the job in the ruck.
16-12, 9-8. St Kilda have got the last 3 goals in this game, all of them important. Powell, Jones knocked it high in the air. Atkins a fumble. Taken by Glass, who was taken down. He's going to get a free kick from the back in the context of all we've seen today. A little soft. Kerr spins out of the would-be tackle. Atkins across half-back, still the Eagles. Man onto the other side of the ground, didn't see him. Kolika to Wirapunda. Wirapunda with advantage paid, goes down towards half-forward. Jakovic hasn't seen a lot of it. Lays it off to Staker. Staker slips it away to Jones. Jones just inside the boundary line, pulls it back. Penny missed it. Haynes leads back in the race. Sockers off the ground. It ricochets off Harvey and goes across the line.
Pressure again from the St Kilda defence, who have stood up admirably. They're under the pump a bit in the third quarter.
Just interested in your thoughts on Powell, Gary. Coach has gone by for him, may have taken him off the ground because he's looked tired, but he's still been in the contest and won more than he's lost in this last quarter.
It's a really good point, Brian. That has been the case for him, and he's a workhorse. He just does keep grinding away, and he gets another possession.
And there he is there. Out wide to the other man that has done so well, Fisher.
Depends on those that compliment him, the players around him. And as Jared said, there is plenty of leg speed, so you can probably afford to carry one. Like Nathan Burke not on the ground, not playing this week, for instance. Gives you more scope to play Stephen Powell for longer.
I think the other bloke who's had influence back in the side is Penny. When he comes back in, they've just got that extra bit of solidity.
St Kilda next week have got Richmond. West Coast Eagles will go back to Perth and take on Adelaide. And there is what the winner will receive today, the Winmar Cup. Mickey Winmar, of course, elected to the Hall of Fame.
Amazing the Winmar Cup is not a cup.
It is. It's sort of a platish cup. Powell. Wirapunda pirouetting out of trouble. Hayes, scrappy play. Players would be happy from both sides to play the siren at the moment.
Let me just serve on that platish cup.
It's an unusual trophy, Dennis.
Don't look at me.
But a fantastic name on it.
It is. Wonderful player. Didn't play for the West Coast Eagles, but plenty of state football for WA. Montagna is through. But he's kicked the goal. His first. That was a slow kick.
It was. Very heartening times for the West Coast, for St Kilda Footy Club. They now got up to 17 goals. And some of the young players taking control of things. We know that Sting has gone out of it, but they've run on and run on well, getting valuable game time.
Just on the situation with the ruck, we know the Capuano thing could have been done slightly better, in fact a lot better, but they've lost nothing, absolutely nothing, the Saints.
Have kicked 4 consecutive goals, the Saints, to extend their lead to 51 points, which is an equal game high. It was that margin at the 29-minute mark of the second quarter. Garrick can extend. Snap at goal, misses. Just the minor score, so there is the game-high margin of 52 points coming deep into this final quarter.
Interesting, 18 of the 26 goals have been kicked at that Cranston end of the ground. Bearing in mind the Eagles didn't get one in the first quarter on the breeze. The torpedo, there it is, yes, we celebrate. Knocked down in front. Taken by Kerr. Staker back to Kerr. There's the bounce. Right on the wing. Daniel Kerr goes towards half forward. Kenny taken by the kick though. And there was that stability that Jared was talking about. A high ball across the ground. Blake at centre half back to Hayes. In rear form, Lenny Hayes goes down towards half forward and pitches inside the 50. Gearick gets rid of Glass. He's very left-sided. Has time to cut around on the left boot. And what's he done? He's kicked it behind. Oh, he wants to buy a bow. He's kicked 4 points. 3 goals for this afternoon for Fraser Gearick.
Well, Punda spots up his target. Finds Green. Short ball over the top, searching for Cousins, who has tried to ignite this side. He took the goal in the third and kicked the last. Well, the first goal of the last quarter. Staker marks on half back for the West Coast Eagles. The West Coast Eagles have 3 more games at Subiaco Oval in Perth, so an opportunity there. One of those against the Dockers, of course. Free kick being paid here to the Eagles. So is the advantage. Matera presents beautifully. And the West Coast Eagles will have another shot at goal through this man here, Haynes. Haynes has been effective today, especially in the third quarter, where he was able to ignite the West Coast Eagles, kicking 3 goals. The line-up for goal number 4 from about 30 metres out on a pretty tough angle. Poor crowd here today. Somewhere around the 15 to 20,000 mark. As Haynes comes in looking for goal number 4, no hope. Had the swing going in the wrong direction. Kaczynski very happy to deliberately punch the ball over the line and out of bounds.
So right now we've got the biggest margin of the day. Throw in the pocket. Over the top, McDougall spills behind. Goddard. Well played, Powell. Yet again, the runners of the Saints have killed their opposite numbers. Hayes kicks it out very wide. Rewalt close to the fence. Went into the fence. Ball picks it up. Blake is running. Well smothered there by Reed. It wanders inside the 50. Murray going to ground. Got a hand pass away. And the snap comes from Montagna. His second.
We'll be delighted to be presenting that cup to Aaron Hamill as Chris Judd comes from the ground. He has had arguably the dirtiest day in his short but celebrated career, and a lot of the credit, most of the credit, goes to Stephen Baker, whose single-minded approach to his task this afternoon has been exceptional. All the good players have had days like that, so he has to bounce back.
59-point thumping here at the Dome. This has turned out to be in favour of the Saints. Plenty of time left as well. They've kicked 5 straight goals here, the Saints. The Eagles appear to be showing little resilience as Staker drives the ball forward. Looking for Matera. Hutchton nudging it over the line. Brendan Gale, boundary side.
Yes, lads, the crowd was full of applause. I thought they were applauding me, actually, but this man's just turned up. Nicky Winmar, the crowd love you, mate.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic to be here, and I'm enjoying it every minute of it.
And a great result, too.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I'm just happy that the result sort of went our way, and I'm just happy to be here.
Back to you, lads.
Cousins, a hand pass. Voss went our way, he said. Can you do that?
Yes.
If I name the plate after you. High ball towards the wing. Going back is Green. And Green is going to get a free kick. Now the Eagles' biggest losing margin this season. Just a fortnight ago, 64 points against Port Adelaide. You can see the margin right there. This is going to be line ball. Hunter. About 60 metres out. Spears a pass in for Haynes, who's tried very hard. He's going to get a free kick. We have a rash of free kicks. Whistle mania.
I think Nicky's happy to be here.
I think he is. He's enjoying the day.
I think he is indeed. And we'll get a rousing reception when he does present that cup.
Still playing football, is he not, in the country?
I believe so.
Yes, he is. He told me.
Several.
Stephen Baker coming from the ground. He's done a great job on Chris Judd. And Just wonder whether next time he gets the claw put on him, Judd won't go to someone else, like a Rewald, just to give him a bit of a chop out.
Haynes from about 45 metres out. I think he's 50 behind. He's missed. So Seville is in the Yarra Valley League, is it? Up around that way?
Should he be up that way, Dennis?
Oh, yeah. Local knowledge is a wonderful thing, Gary. Thank you. Voss kicks off.
Brian's the man of the people.
But going back, taking the mark is Djakovic. Djakovic plays on immediately. Atkins is centering kick. Who's on the end of it? Well, the Saints player. Penny to Hayes. Loved his game. Harvey has been wonderful. Kicks it towards the outer side. Maguire, unkind bounce. Holliker guarding the rear. Back to Djakovic.
Djakovic on centre wing. Chipping ball has had no influence on the game today. Glenn Djakovic. It's been a long time sitting on the pine. Kick forward. Just the minor score there.
A pretty young side, West Coast Eagles as well. Djakovic the exception. The other one who seems to be, I would imagine, under a bit of pressure would be Drew Banfield. He's battled a bit this afternoon.
Yeah, I'm going to think he had a possession up until half-time of this game, Gary, as Djakovic once again presents himself at half-forward, takes a bounce, working himself onto his non-preferred side. Driving ball, though, got plenty of it. Hutchton flies late in the day. A big effort for Max Hutchton.
The way they're structured up, St Kilda, though, it's not too dissimilar from the Swans, particularly their ruck situation. Ball obviously is injured, but they're both very mobile players.
Short one to the pocket. Hutchton to Powell. The veterans combining. Goddard at centre half back. Unloads. Not the master of the spiral, not yet anyway, but Kazitsky on the end of it. Good things happen with the spiral. Here's tackle. Cousins has got it. Forward of half back. Lead offered by Haynes. He kicks it over his head. Hunter will need to go here. Charging up, Boss missed it. Bounces back to Hunter. Goes short, gave it to Ball. Ball, rush of blood, tried to take on Sampi, lost it. Hunter comes again, gives it to Reid, 35 metres out. He snaps, untidy by the Saints. Hutchton goes back.
What a big goal, Max.
And touched it right on the line. Nicky's clapping. The West Coast Eagles coming in minus Gardner, McIntosh, Embley, Fletcher. They need them back, and they need them back in a hurry. Goal umpire in an interesting position. He was there late. It's like playing and missing sometimes and pretending he didn't play.
Looked over, Gary, didn't it? Blake.
Looked like a run.
Montagna
Irrelevant.
is indeed, although every decision you would think is relevant if we're going to play at this elite level, Gary.
The result.
Staker, yes, you're quite right. Murray, dodging, weaving. Around the body work, Punda lies down on the ground behind the plate.
That looks serious.
Maguire, it does, still hasn't moved. Garrick, in the meantime, can kick a goal. A certain goal for Fraser Garrick, goal number 4. But work, Punda is still down.
He grabbed for his left knee.
Well, that would be a disaster for the West Coast Eagles. That would just make a terrible day much worse.
Didn't look too bad there.
No, it didn't, but sometimes the most innocuous incidents have the worst result. He's up and about, he's on his feet. Didn't stop the game, I noticed either, Brendan. Brian, when David Rapunda went down.
He immediately grabbed that left knee, and as you can see, he's hobbling off the ground.
He is walking, though, to some extent, and that's
His moonwalk.
well, he is a little, but normally they carry them off on a stretcher if they think it is serious enough to do so.
Well, they're getting a spate of injuries, the Eagles, at just the wrong time of the season. Starting to come unglued for them a little bit. I mentioned those names just before Wirrapunda went down. Slapped out of there by Blake. Sharked by Cousins to Kerr back on the ground. Dying minutes of the game. He kicks it very high. Jones gave a contest. He's tried hard. Djakovic left it behind. Del Santo just treads the boundary, takes it across.
There is David Wirrapunda just being attended to as he goes to the bench. And that would be an absolute tragedy if that were to be a serious knee injury. Harvey, Hayes and Ball all combining. Some fancy footwork there as Blake ends up receiving. Goes wide to Del Santo. Right in front of the interchange area. The Saints have been sensational in the last quarter, kicking 6 goals to 1. Driving ball. Garrick's got 4. Can't mark this time. Glass outfitting for strength.
There's Braun in the back pocket. St Kilda's biggest winning margin this season, 45 points. That should have been a free kick to McDougall. He's going to get one.
Just on Glass, it would appear as if he has been beaten by Garrick with 4 goals, but when one side's been so dominant, I reckon he's done a pretty fair job.
Kazetsky almost. Voss slides in. Claimed immediately, held to him, so we're down to 40 seconds, and I dare say the clock will continue to run here as the umpire comes across to bounce. Umpire head. Wirapunda pensive, but he doesn't seem to be alarmed, and that's good news. But then again, it's a bit of a poker player. Check. Rewalt gets on the end of it. So I venture to say their last sortie forward. The Saints have been terrific today. They've played with aggression. Here's Hudgton. He got it from Harvey. Goes out wide. Hayes fitting. He's got the football late in this game. Hand passes up towards the wing. Blake taken down, wearing George Young's old number. And there's the siren. It's all over. Upset victory for the Saints. Graham Thomas a little stoic. Former West Coast Eagles celebrates. And a former Saint great goes out to make a presentation. I mentioned before he played some wonderful football for South Fremantle and some great